committed to the project that they have together, and they have just left.
Bro,
so if you go into it,
hold on 1 second. If you are having children with you said that you wanted to inseminate 8 women with 1 children. I don't know if I would trust millennial women of this era with children. So that's why.
Well, okay, but then that's the solution. Just saying, these people are unwilling. It doesn't matter how successful, how well educated, how intelligent, how healthy. They are just simply like, they're fucked. Like, they just shouldn't reproduce. And I think that's what the culture's been pushing them for, really. If you boil it down all this time, that's been the end conclusion. But if you just want to lean into that, then, at least that's a position.
I get your whole affirmative action project, and it's good. Just do it then, I guess. I don't know. For me, I don't think I'm going to be able to dissuade you, so I think you're going to do it anyway. But if you're going to do it, just be a polygamist and go to Utah, and then all the women can live in one house, or one complex or one compound, be a Mormon, and that way you can actually be there, go travel around, fuck all the Asian bitches you want, come back, make them have half the kids who have been in their own fucking societies. We were gonna get bullied.
Oh, he wants to have Asian kids? He wants to destroy your culture, Gio.
It's not exclusive.
And he wants to create 8 depressed Hapa kids. Bro, if you go on r/Hapa on Reddit, dude, these kids have the most depressed story. They don't fit in either culture. Imagine being born and you don't fit in either culture completely.
Oh wow, Ethan. Why do you want to destroy your culture?
Fuck, dude. No, your kids.
Gio. Gio, there's a lot.
Hapa can grow up and not have
Well, actually, yeah. Japan has fertility issues. You should go there, Ethan, if you really like Asians.
Yeah, I need to save the Japanese, save the Koreans.
Yeah, exactly. Go do your project in Japan.
Gio, you said.
And they're highly.
Hold on 1 second. Let Adrian go, but I'm saying you're not helping Koreans. You're just saving the world.
No, don't let Adrian go, dude. Do you know it?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So I was. Okay, Issa, you're such a genius. Gio, I was saying that I disagree with you.
Is this Edmund?
Yeah, this is Edmund.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Edmund.
So I was just gonna say I disagree with you. Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say I disagree with you because, having myself been born to a Jewish father and a Christian mother, it was very, very confusing, and there were times where I was very emotionally distraught because I didn't feel like I had a definitive identity, and
You're still very emotionally distraught.
Oh, so are you, Issa. So and this is a very sensitive topic for you because you're a single woman with no children, and your fertility is completely plummeting.
It's actually not.
Stop. Both of you stop. I hate this. Stop.
Okay, so anyways, I was just going to say I disagree with you in the sense that a lack of identity shouldn't be based on whether or not an outgroup accepts you. It should be based on your self-actualization and your education and your knowledge of self, which deals with psychology. And I know you always claim I'm a self-actualization preacher, but to me it's an important topic.
Correct. I don't disagree that self-actualization is important in society, but if everybody was able to do it, we wouldn't need government in the first place. We wouldn't need religion. We wouldn't need social norms. We wouldn't need etiquette, manners, standards of any kind.
We don't need government.
Fucking retard. Okay? So, yes we do. I hear you, and the self-actualization, Ubermensch, classical liberal, Thomas Paine, Enlightenment, anarchist bullshit works for the top 10, 15%, but it doesn't work for most people. Humans are mimetic creatures, okay? They're not people who are such individualists that in this free Western society, everyone is so unique with everything calibrated for their own thing. Most people all listen to Taylor Swift. Most people all listen to club music. A lot of people listen to classical music. 1 second. Isa, please. Thank you. Humans follow mimetic trends. Humans have mimetic desires, right? Even people who don't like cars will get fancy cars to get the girl. Okay, that's how strong mimetic desires are. So you know what certain things that a signal status which I think you keep denying. And maybe someone like you is very lucky because they were able to self-actualize. But if everybody was able to self-actualize, we wouldn't need customs, rituals, habits, manners that were taught and ingrained.
No, but those cultures and rituals, those cultures and rituals is how you self-actualize, though.
I agree, but we've lost the disciplinary part of our society where Asian women used to keep each other in check from gaining weight to be disciplined. We've lost that enforcement mechanism completely from the West because of live and live, and we don't want to hurt people's feelings. Those two things have completely destroyed any kind of discipline aesthetic from even Protestants, the early Protestants, like the Quakers and Puritans, extremely disciplined, extremely aesthetic. You know what happens within 4 or 5 generations? They all die out. Puritans died out by 1830. There's about 100,000 Quakers left in the world. 70,000 of them are in Africa. So only 30,000 Western Quakers are left.
I get it, but
No, we have wokeness, which is apparently Quaker origin.
Yeah, Western, Protestant, like I would say Protestant origin.
well, I mean, I went to the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina, and I can tell you right now that the young students there are extremely Protestant, extremely Christian, extremely disciplined. So there is a growing culture of what you're speaking of, and it's not just at my college; it's at many colleges across this country. And it doesn't just have to be Christian; it can be Jewish or anything else.
Yes, Adrian, but the problem in America for the last 200 years is that if all the conservatives and libertarians had built third places, associations, mutual aid societies, societies of aristocrats and intellectuals, we would have been ready for the Great Depression, and we wouldn't have needed the government's help. Every community would have had so many institutions, we would have had needed help.
We didn't need the government's help during the Great Depression.
One second. When Americans were given the freedom to do all those things so that they didn't need government, all the libertarians talk all that shit and don't build any institutions. Don't build alternative universities. Don't build alternative.
They do.
No, recently maybe to some degree, but.
Well, what about Chapel Hill?
Give me 1 second, bro, Adrian. For fuck's sake. Stop, or I'm gonna kick you out. The problem in the West is that people have abused the notion of liberty, and in Roman times, liberty was for you to have more responsibility as you became a citizen, right? In the West, since the French Enlightenment, since all the Enlightenments, the Anglo-Scottish, German Enlightenment to me, you see two versions because it's not clearly defined. You can have the freedom to be more responsible or the freedom from responsibility. America has had the richest upper class in human history for the last 200 years. The richest. All of them, if they wanted to, they could have built so many non-governmental institutions that there would be a plethora. If every rich person in America did what Rockefeller and Carnegie did and built up alternative institutions, but did it for the conservatives and Christians, we wouldn't be in this mess. Most libertarians talk that shit, but use their liberty to do coke and do coke off a stripper's ass, okay? Or to collect beanie babies or whatever these fucking libertarians do. None of them join institutions except for libertarian shit. They don't help their communities. They're not great neighbors. They don't build institutions. They don't join associations. This is why.
I know, but this is the mass media consumption of consumerism and commercialization packaging, meaning that we are.
No, this is just middle class culture all throughout human history.
No, I'm saying that.
Middle class merchant and peasant culture all throughout human history.
I know, but
I suck at making institutions except for guilds.
I get it. I'm saying that the purity that you're speaking of is degraded through mass commercialization.
No, I would argue that Tocqueville talks about this happening in 1820 due to industrialization and democracy, actually. Democracy, the democratic culture of America, is the main source of this, Tocqueville writes, actually, on American democracy in 1820. And John Adams echoes his sentiments in the 1790s and 1800s.
Well, something interesting.
Look, one thing, John Adams and Tocqueville both say that Americans will not debate politics or religion because they don't want to offend future customers. Right? So how can you enforce religious norms as a society or, pro-action norms if you can't enforce social norms at all because you just
Well,
from the 1800s and
I
1700s.
don't want to derail you or change your topic, but recently I've been buying U.S. currency from the
No,
1910s and
no,
1920s.
no, 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 no.
No, no, no. Okay, well then I'm gonna leave. Have a great day. You enjoy yourself.
You too,
Take care.
bro.
Bye bye.
You too.
What are these guys going to make of Israel? They're gonna make a shit show like that.
Yeah, they don't care. It's not, they don't think that far. Like it's about like we are being oppressed. We are victims. We need to kill the oppressors, and that's it. That is the plan. What happens next is like not really planned.
Well, it is.
I mean, not for the people that are participating, and yeah, they see them as I don't know, like freedom fighters. Like this is the thing. I mean, those kids that walk in this event, like they see it as normal. I mean, nothing to report. This is what they know from all the time. Like, okay, Papa was also dressing like this many times.
Papa was a
Before
Rolling
he went
Stone.
to work. Well, yes, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Like these kids thinking like, okay, Papa was also going like this to work. There are friends
Yeah, it's crazy.
from his work.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's put the video up here. Hold on a second.
You know
I
that
mean, it's from Palestine.
I saw in the comment section on X Spaces or X that girl who was rescued, who was dragged off. They had videos of her dancing in a bikini at various raves and whatnot. She's a traveler and she's a young girl and she's just a normal.
No, it's not a various rave. It's a party that they did for her.
Oh,
Because,
afterwards?
She would dance again.
No.
Yeah, after she came back.
No
The
way.
one in the yellow bikini.
Something before.
It had to have
The
been
one in
before.
the yellow bikini.
Yeah.
The yellow bikini.
Yep.
That is after. That is.
Wow. She looks pretty good for being a prisoner.
The idea was like she will dance again.
Damn.
Okay, because she was taken from the Nova party, so they wanted to.
What was she saying though? Was she saying I love Gaza?
What?
She was saying something and I couldn't understand it. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. I was just it's like I'm just saying that like reality is like blur or like what? It's like and now that you say it's afterwards.
This is like she and when Shlomo was rescued on the same operation.
Oh, that one. Okay.
She seems like a really nice girl, and I mean, anybody who like criticizes her, I mean, they're just really nasty, obnoxious people who, just don't know law or justice or decency. But I mean,
Celebrate life.
Yeah, celebrate life. But I had no idea that was after, and that does seem a little bizarre to me, a little bit, like meaning that after you go through such a serious event, it's like maybe tone shit down a little bit.
Well, again, I think the idea was to, first of all, it's been like, I think, a month since she was out. And again, I think this, like, dancing again and celebrating life is also part of it.
No, I get it why she would do something like that. I just think that maybe it was not a good moment, especially since the war is still not over. A lot of hostages are still there. It's not that she shouldn't feel happy again. It's more like there are moments when you need to try to be a little bit more cautious.
Isa, the focus is also on her because she is one of those hostages, and she, it's not that she needs to be solidarity only. Like, yes, she needs to have solidarity, but she also has a broken life, and she needs to kind of not go into depression and whatever. She needs to celebrate life, and she needs to be surrounded with people
But
that
that's
love
why
her.
I fully understand that part of the argument, But maybe if it would have been me or it would have been my daughter, I would have maybe advised to just keep it low for now,
I don't know.
No, I understand Daniel's point. I mean,
No, I understand it too.
I think the thing is, it's just that
I'm not against it. I just say that I would do it differently, but I'm not against it.
I mean, I would have been more political, meaning that I wouldn't just throw a rave. I would have campaigned against my captors. I mean, like Caesar did when he got arrested by pirates. He said, "When I get free, I'm going to come back here and kill you all." And sure enough, he got free, and he came back and he strung those pirates up, and he crucified them for what they did to him and to other people. I'm not. Anyways, I'm just
No, but
saying.
I mean, this is not. I mean, all the families and all the apostles who released are very much advocates. I mean, she just went with BBT to the United States to get the parliament when he was speaking. Like she used to also be interviewing. But I think the rave is. I think it's not just a rave. I mean, it has context, and the context is that she was taken from a rave. And part of the like slogans that follow the word that like we will dance again, okay? Because it's it's like more complex or layered than just like she was released
Yeah,
and did
I get it.
a rape.
It's
I
like the
get
full
it, but
circle.
it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's like you raped us on our party of peace and whatever. Well, guess what? We're here continuing it.
yeah, like it started with a party in a way. It's not just like that they said it's not just the party by itself that
Yeah.
you, okay, she did a party because she did
It's a
she was
symbol.
taken. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more than just. This is why I said like many people, and this like small example is how complicated this topic is and how layered they are. You cannot just take like one incident or like saying her in a party and cannot try and understand everything because there is a lot of context and a lot of people just don't connect the dots.
I read in.
This is just about her and the party, but if you take it to like to everything else, it's so complicated.
This book, it's very complicated because she's inciting people on both sides. So what I'm saying is there's an expression that I've read in a book on Kabbalah called the eternal dancer, and that is technically what everyone is. We are all doing a dance, and we're rotating and spinning like the universe, and thus we are the eternal dancers. So her metaphor is very powerful and very literal, and I do like EDM and music and all that stuff, but I mean, I'm just saying that heard those videos to me, because in the comment section of X, people were criticizing her, saying, "Why would we kill 200 civilians in Gaza to free this?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why?" It's confusing.
This topic is how layered they are. You know, just take like one incident.
What is that?
My YouTube account.
Are you playing Daniel?
Yeah, I record everything I do on Clownhouse.
Was that Daniel's voice?
I said that the passion that was released yesterday is now having a welcome in Baja. He was sick, so basically he was talking. First of all, he lost a lot of weight. He basically says that in the last week he was left like in a room in the tunnel alone with food and water, and they left. He is like he did have a haircut, so I guess he was with people in the last like recently, like in the last 10 days or like.
That guy was Arab, right, or a Druze or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bedouin.
Oh, Bedouin. I had no idea there were those many Bedouins.
Yeah, and so he was like someone died next to him, but it was probably very much close to the kidnapping itself. And in the last 10 months, he was only underground. He didn't see sunlight for the last since basically he was taken. And basically he repeated a lot of times the sentence that you guys don't understand. There's Gaza above the ground and there's Gaza underground. Because they moved a lot within Gaza underground. He didn't. He was mostly eating bread and not every day. And that is it for now that I can think that what he said. Now he's also talking on TV. I would listen to maybe not to be live.
How did they know where he was?
There was intelligence, like meaning that probably means that they took someone, arrested someone, and gave the information of the location, and then they came. But not even one fire has to be shot.
Well, that is. So what happened?
the attempted terror attack, and basically they are also escalating attacks of terror attacks. I know that it's not being reported, but there are more and more since the beginning of the war. For some reason, for example, when people are counting the dead in Gaza, they got to 14,000, but for Israel, they kind of stuck with this 1,200, which is not true. Only by the end of 2023, there was like already 1,400, and I don't know in 2024 what is the number. People dying, both militants and civilians. And I'm sorry, both army and civilians, also on our side. No one is counting it. It's kind of weird that there's a war, but you only count one side dead and on the other side, but fine. Anyway, they basically the Israeli forces launched a big-scale operation called summer camps. There was another operation a couple of years ago called Light Forgot, but this is like looks like more massive than the previous one. And it's mostly they already arrested some people were killed, and now they're basically looking for explosives. So the Islamic terror groups there kind of planted IEDs on the roads. So when the IDF will come at some point and they will blow them up. So now they need to basically kind of like destroy the roads. Basically, they go like a big machine goes and kind of opens the road, and then sometimes something will explode, and then they will continue. So now basically some of the roads are being destroyed, and basically the IDF surrounded all the hospitals to prevent the terrorists from arriving. So basically they surround the hospitals and they get checkpoints. So all the ambulances and everybody that wants to go into like the ambulance area needs to pass the IDF security checkpoint and then go in, because this is like some of the things that they learned from the previous operation that they did a few years ago, and they basically are flooding with like thousands of soldiers, like at least 2 divisions already went there. The population
This
was
is the West Bank, right?
yes.
To account farming, like
The population was not evacuated, but anyone that want to be evacuated.
Exactly. Marketing, advertising, propagation, production, distribution, inventory.
Like call for evacuation. Right now.
Is this like a takeover of the West Bank, or what is the?
No, it's a cleanup. It's not a takeover. It's a cleanup. Basically, there's a lot of terrorist activity gaining more. Basically, to prevent them from continuing what they're doing, like to take their ammunition. They already found a lot of M16s. For all the people that think that they only have AK-47s, now they also have M16s, ammunition, explosives. They already found some.
And they're taking prisoners, the ones that they think are terrorists?
Yes. They didn't take so many, but they already are arrested.
And are they like crossfires or something?
Yes, they are like cross like fires like from one side to another. You mean like this fire exchange? Yes. There are. Yes, there is. There are. I don't know casualties on our side yet. No casualties on their side. Like at least 2 yesterday.
So what is the Philadelphia corridor? Is that the nexus point where Hamas wants to take resupply and they're blocking that transportation corridor from smugglers?
The Philadelphia corridor is basically the line of the Gaza Strip that is between Gaza and Egypt. Okay, it's like the 14 kilometers that is basically this block between Gaza and Egypt. Well, Rafah is. All eyes on Rafah, all eyes on Rafah. So no one died in Rafah. No one died. No. They said hundreds of thousands will die. So no, that didn't happen. What did happen that Israel uncovered like few thousands of terror tunnels and smuggling tunnels. And
Massive tunnels.
Yes, and one of them is like you can basically drive in a car, in a truck. Basically, this is why they want the Philadelphia corridor, because this is basically the oxygen supply for all the ammunition and all the smuggling and whatnot. And also the Egyptians are saying like, no, Israel cannot call the Philadelphia corridor for reason. And those reasons don't really make sense because Israel and Egypt have a border of 250 kilometers, and then just the last 14 kilometers, Egypt have a problem with it. It's kind of weird. Anywho, hold on, there was like a summary, like, of this operation and Defense America.
I think it's kind of interesting how, without the hostages, Hamas could never have reasonably expected any chance of success whatsoever, meaning that huge miscalculation, but also the fact that Israel had the balls to totally go in, because you would think that they would have stood down.
It's your mic, we cannot understand.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's crackling like crazy.
So, the details of the large-scale operation in the camps north and Samaria in the Jordan Valley, which is also known as West Bank. This morning, security establishment acknowledged our focused divisional operation haven't yet delivered.
Wow.
$1 billion to bring Robert Downey Jr. back in Avengers Doomsday, and the news has lit the internet on fire.
Damn, that Robert Downey Jr. got paid $100 million for the new movie. That's crazy.
This hinders our ability to fight in Gaza or Lebanon. So the main concern is that the threat of explosive, which is primarily the reason for launching this operation. Last week's attempt bombing in central Tel Aviv was a key factor in the decision to move forward now, and even though preparation had been underway earlier, the idea is sending a clear message, drawing a critical lesson from October 7th. We don't wait for a deadly attack to occur. Instead, we act based on terrorist intentions, based on intelligence. The Tel Aviv incident was a significant trigger for this operation. Tulkan is particularly troubling due to the number of explosives. Just yesterday, Palestinians reported 3 explosions a few hundred meters from Baghdad. Lessons from the previous large-scale operation by Israel in Jenin last July have been applied. As soon as the current operation began, the first objective was to fully encircle 4 key hospitals, 2 in Jenin and 2 in Tulkarem. Since the start of the operation, those hospitals have been surrounded to prevent terrorists from using them as escape routes, as happened during Beit Vagam. Patients and ambulances are allowed access only after being thoroughly checked by our forces. Unlike in Gaza, the IDF does not plan to evacuate civilians from the areas forward now, and even though preparation has been underway earlier, the IDF is sending a clear message, drawing a critical lesson from October 7th. We don't wait for a deadly attack to occur. Instead, we act based on terrorist intentions, based on intelligence. The Tel Aviv incident was a significant trigger for this operation. Tulkan is particularly troubling due to the number of explosives. Just yesterday, Palestinians reported 3 explosions a few hundred meters from Baghdad. Lessons from the previous large-scale operation by Israel in Jenin. Stay home while we do it, usually at night.
You'll be fine if you're out, right?
Yeah, like just stay home during the night. Unlike in Gaza, the IDF is not going to evacuate now. Okay, unlike in Gaza, the IDF is not going to evacuate earlier. Okay. The operation involves forces from 2 brigades, the Menashe Brigade and the Fifth Brigade each, covering different areas and strategies to flood the region with as many forces as possible, including constraint of troops availability across other fronts, to prevent terrorism from escape, terrorists from escape, and to force them into combat. In addition to the main conflict zone, in the camps of northern Samaria, there have been in other areas. Last night, operations took place in Balata and Askar camps in Nablus. More recently, a large wave of terrorists was carried out in the village of Aruma in Binyamin, around 30 suspects. That is like another summary of last night.
I'm gonna treat you to the lunch today at the dock in that boat.
I hear reports that Sinwar is around 22 handcuffed hostages at any moment to protect them. I think there were a few instances, is what I read, that taken down, but they couldn't become the hostages. I wonder then if they know which hostages
So he took hostages with him to protect himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Surrounded himself basically.
Well, at least that is good news just that 22 of them are okay.
Well, because I'm sure also that.
Yeah, of course. And what happened in Jerusalem, where they...
Yes, this is like, also like starting history, which is not crazy.
But that was all the forces, right?
Yes.
Like they were kind of like mobilizing people saying that.
Like basically with like terror cells, which is like on the cells, it's basically on BHA, Islamic, and I also read something about the legal that people from being Gaza trying to take this well down with other terrorism. Definitely they're going to this. So yeah, they say they will remember these like Israeli soldiers.
Nobody wants to talk to us. Is my mic still fucked up?
Yes, it was at the very beginning, but the last time we talked it was...
Okay, basically, the only thing that I see is heavy Israeli security forces and anti-terror operation in Short the camp in East Jerusalem. They're kind of going in like massive, but this is like from an hour ago, so I have no idea what's going on. It's like a video of them marching in.
It says here, but this is just ChatGPT, so it's very generic.
About what?
The East Jerusalem. It says that there has been, one of the main developments is the continued violence, clashes between Israeli forces and Palestinian residents. These have been exacerbated by the Israelis' military operations in Gaza and other parts of the occupied territories. Oh my god.
What? This is from ChatGPT?
Yeah. There have been reports of increased military presence and rape in East Jerusalem, which are part of a broader strategy by Israeli forces in response to ongoing attacks from various Palestinian groups, including Hamas.
Oh, yeah.
They said rape?
No, raid.
Also, your headphones are also fucked up, not just your mic.
You were fucked up.
Yeah, it's not just the mic and the phone, my friend. It's this brain. I haven't even started drinking
when
yet.
you said raid, that it was good, your microphone. Right now it's again bad.
Only say rape.
Don't you have like a headset that you... On one?
And John without a mic is like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's no easy solution. I don't know what to do. These phones are real trash.
It says the International Court of Justice recently issued a ruling regarding Israel's presence in East Jerusalem, which, I don't think so, which the US government has warned could complicate peace efforts in the region. This ruling has heightened diplomatic tensions and is likely to influence the dynamics on the ground.
It's not a ruling, it's an opinion. They didn't make a ruling, they made an opinion. And yes, all those parties are basically helping to intensify the situation among the like UN parties and all those parties.
See the links that it gives.
But ChatGPT will not give you like things that are happening right like in real time.
Well, sometimes it does. Well, ChatGPT is already connected to the internet.
Yeah, but those things are not even reported yet.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I'm asking if what is happening right now that he should kind of like scan for updates, and this is what it gave me, but it's very general. That's the reason why I said it's very general, because I don't think there's much. But let me look, because it gave me a few links for reference. Let's see this one from Times of Israel.
And also,
No, this is an old one. Yeah, this is an old one. So the ICJ ruling that it was talking about was from 1 month ago.
Yeah, I know it, but it's not a ruling; it's an opinion.
Yeah. Another link it gives. Okay, this is more recent. IJF rescues Israeli Bedouin hostage. Go to a full article. Rodrigo. Is that your name? Rodrigo? Hello?
My name?
Yeah.
No, my name is not.
Because in Spanish we call Rodri and Rodi the people that are called Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was asking. I'm looking at this article, see if it's
I have a very Israeli name.
What is it? Can you say it?
Yeah, I'll write it down on Telegram, but I'll say it.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. Hezbollah, fire drones, Israel statement. No, it doesn't say anything about East Jerusalem economy.
No, yeah, because like they just went in an hour ago. There's also an Israeli meeting on the phone.
What is not reported?
Yeah, that's like heavy forces going into East Jerusalem to destroy funds.
Oh no, wait, let's see if it was the news that came. איזה חמוד המחולץ הזה, הדרוזי.
כן, והמשפחה שלו כמובן.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
No.
לכל חטוף יש משפחה שמחכה לו, צריך לשים לזה סוף.
This is what the hostage said. Every hostage has a family. They all come back.
Yeah, and there has to be an end to it.
You know that when he was taken, he had like a 1.5-year-old baby, and we just saw him again for the first time. We saw him as a baby. Obviously, he's a 1-year-old baby.
או, שמע את זה, עיתון יהודי בריטי טוען, סינואר הקיף את עצמו ב-22 חטופים חיים כהגנה מפני חיסול.
Yeah, my answer is
So, of course he does. Oh, well, I don't know if it is true. It's again, but to be honest, I'm skeptical of any source. If I only have like a high credence, and I only put a high credence on something that was reported by a lot of different media. So basically, what it said is that there was a British Jewish newspaper that claimed that Sinwar surrounded himself with 22 hostages as a protection from assassination.
yeah, the Jewish Chronicle.
Yeah, the Jewish Chronicle, exactly. Yeah.
Well, listen, if makes sense. I don't know if it's 22 or I don't know if they have like reliable information, but it's something that we all kind of knew from day one that he's with hostages. And also, a hostage already said that she saw him, she met him, she spoke to him. One of the hostages in those relations.
Yeah, no, but then it was confirmed that it wasn't him.
Well, no, but in any case, I'm sure that he's using some of them with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again. איזה יכול לצבור את הדלת? אני מפריע לך. סליחה, זה כפרה עליך. Yeah. So, yeah, the date was confirmed it was the case. And to be honest, if I was in war, I would act exactly the same. Like, if I don't have any shame to kidnap and take hostages, then why shouldn't I also use them as like YouTube? The one thing that I don't understand is that I thought that you want to die as a shaheed. There is no other better like respect and prestige than to die as a shaheed.
Everyone else first.
No, but you know that he said that multiple times. There was literally a video of where he states the Israeli government threatened to assassinate me, but they don't understand that they will give me the most of respect if they'll kill me, because then I can be a true martyr, true shaheed. I'm like, yeah, so why are you surrounding yourself with 22? Or however, like, how many hostages? There is like some inconsistency between, the talk and the action.
Meanwhile, while people are looking at the one case of polio in Gaza, in Yemen they have like a civil floods which cause the spread of cholera. They already have 164,000 Yemenites that have been infected, and it's expected to get to about 250,000 in some weeks. So again,
Wait.
back to Gaza.
Wait, Kalev, what is cholera in English?
Cholera?
Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Cholera. It's cholera. Yeah, cholera.
If anything, I would want to have a Spanish one.
Cholera.
It sounds more like it's better than cholera.
Cholera.
Cholera sounds like literally like me.
No, and cholera is like
Cholera. I'm like, it sounds very interesting.
Cholera is also an expression for us. It's like, que cholera. It's like, que rabia. It's like, oh, what up? Oh, like you say it when you're angry or when something, like, oh, it makes me angry, Me dio cólera. Yeah, you use it also like that.
we use it on a person. I would call you cholera.
We also say que rabia, and rabia is rabies. So it's like, que rabia, it's like, oh.
And
Like, make me mad. That is what we use also cólera and rabia.
Cholera. I don't know. It sounds like a fear, like corona.
Cholera, please come here.
No,
Cholera fever.
cólera. Cólera.
Oh,
Cholera. Yeah, cholera. What did I say?
You said cólera.
Ah, sorry, cholera.
Yeah.
It's the pronunciation.
Yeah, it's the first syllable that has the strength.
It sounds Italian.
Yeah, Spanish and Italian is very similar.
The Palestinian reports that Al-Aqsa Ma'awi's brigade in Jenin our fighters on the battlefield continue to engage in fierce clashes with the enemy forces on all fronts using machine guns and explosive devices, achieving direct hits in their ranks. So just
Wait, where's the fighting?
No, this is from from El Madayen. It's like a Palestinian sources from the Al-Aqsa Ma'awi brigade. Like there's a message from them.
Okay.
Actually, they are saying on themselves that they are using against us machine guns and explosive devices. So just for anyone thinking that we are fighting innocent children or when they would die, not so innocent.
ב-3:12 half an hour earlier, sorry, yeah, half an hour earlier, the IDF attacked deep in Lebanon. This is how they.
Yeah, but there is like a targeted strikes on specific people. One of them is Faris Qasim. He's like in the Islamic Jihad. He was in the area of Syria and Lebanon. He was responsible for basically the operations of the Islamic Jihad in Syria and Lebanon. Like,
if there was like a Hamas, sorry, go ahead.
No. So it's like a high, like it's like specific targets. Like it was all vehicles in Lebanon. On that stand.
If there was like a Hamas member, I would be like so sad because it's like, I built with my friends so many like tunnels, like for years, and like building tunnels, like digging and like in less than a year, like all of my tunnels are destroyed. Like all of those things are destroyed. Yeah. No, but yeah,
Suspicion of the future.
yeah, but the whole
Think about that kid. He worked for like 4 years digging tunnels in Gaza. He's like, yup, this is the way to the future. That kid's a moron. He got taught a lesson that he should have figured out 4 years ago.
yeah, but like you are building for years. Kids, like because they are like employing kids, like 14, 13-year-old kids.
And they have nothing better to do. They're all like,
But example, just think about it. They are digging tunnels. Like there are literally kids that are 14-year-olds, right? That were digging tunnels their entire life,
right?
Okay? So right now they're probably 30. If they started at 14, suppose they started in 2009, they're right now 30. So all of their adult lives and all of their like basically like childhood, they were digging tunnels and all of them are destroyed.
Okay.
Then, so right now,
Allow me to paint another.
just sympathize. One thing. Just sympathize. One thing. I'm asking a difficult task. I'm asking for you to be sympathetic toward this 40-year-old kid. That all of his life built stuff and it's all destroyed. It's like such a frustrating feeling.
And you're trying to feel for a child. So, let me tell you about a different book that children committed themselves to for millennia. They dug for a structure that would not hold, and yet eventually built the state of Israel.
Yeah, but that was a success.
Look, they're not doing it because they think it'll work. They're doing it because they need to do something.
Well, I don't think that's the case. But that was successful. No, like I said, but this is successful. Israel is successful. It's a successful project.
Years of failure.
Yeah,
No, there wasn't
people are born to die for their cause. They're not born thinking that they will one day be 19 years old. Like the past 2,000 years lived so that they could die. Their descendants will be are thinking that they will make themselves 19. None of that.
Yeah, that is listen, it's also programmed. They have the same basic quest that the Jews had for the same 2,000 years. They want to occupy the land of Israel. He said they have a murderous strategy that they are currently employing. It's not a good strategy. Like, I'm saying, if you want to end the Israeli state or the occupation of your homeland, there are techniques that don't involve digging worthless tunnels for 30 years.
Yeah. You,
I wonder,
you know what? Maybe, look, Victor, maybe the same thing we can think about those people that built the second temple.
Right?
can I respond? Mix it. I actually think, I've heard this from like pro-Pal people, for instance, like a friend who is on Twitter about space a lot, and he talked to a lot of the pro-Palestinian people for a while, and then he had that realization too. It's like, hold on, even if these guys win, they just want the same thing. They're just Zionists. They're just on the other side. Like there's nothing different fundamentally in their
It's just a war, like every other
They
war.
just want to wipe out the other side. Yeah, it's just I want it to be us, not you. And I've been thinking about that a lot too. And you're right, like their methods are wrong, but I think that the real thing is that birth rates are part of why. I mean, that's part of their strategy, as you know.
Yes.
But I think that's actually why they will win. I mean, them with high birth rate, willing to go for however many generations does it take? There are multiple generations.
Well,
How never they grow like in numbers? It's like how like Israel, there are already 2 billion of them in the world. Or if you're talking about Palestinians, like I don't know, there are like millions of them in the world. How like Israel?
When it's like 100 million Palestinians against like 7 million Israelis, I think, at some point the numbers do matter.
Yes.
yeah, but
What?
in Israel,
How many Iranians are there?
Israel has got the highest birth rate in Jews in Israel than the other ones.
Yeah, but we're starting with 7 million.
The other Palestinians, I mean, yeah, they have a very high birth rate, but they also get killed at a higher birth rate. That's the reason why you see that the average age in Palestinians, like it's around like 30 or so. They're like very young population because they don't get ever old. They all die.
But how does it? But again, I think even if you have like 200 million Palestinians, I don't know, like 5 generations, then for 5 generations, other country will have the similar base, and still fight for the same 5 generations, but they have nothing. Like I'm not sure how the number. Like okay, I really don't see. I see how this is the problem for Muslims in general, in like in democratic countries that they grow. Okay, I get it. I don't see in Israel how.
I think they want it more than the Jews want to survive.
But it doesn't matter how much they want it. Like you said about the numbers, I'm not like now you're talking about how much they want it. You're talking about the fact
You're
that
thinking,
they were growing numbers.
like a rational individual or a rational small state operator. They are thinking like a somewhat irrational but somewhat rational large state operator.
Long
They
term.
the numbers. They've already
How does it affect? I'm just saying.
you win. That's
Okay. How do they win? Let's say instead of like 12 million Palestinians that we have now, I don't know how many, we will have 120 million.
Right.
How does it affect Israel?
Well, because
Well,
you have
they sent in 1,000 fighters when I took for them.
just invade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't number you and then you can make them invade. However, that doesn't make them an advanced military.
No,
Because
they're
it's
not.
like the 7th century, and so Israel can just blast them with one shot, you know?
Self-sacrifice is a very old.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think we can use one drone. We can use one drone against 1,000 of their human people, and not even sacrifice one person. I think it's sitting in Berlin and shoot.
America, in the world today, you cannot kill 100 million people trying to invade your border and claim self-defense. At a certain point, people are going to say, stop killing them.
Yeah.
No, there is no point like this. Sorry, I don't agree with you.
Yes, there is.
No.
If you couldn't, listen, I'm not saying it's easy to work
No,
with
no.
people.
I understand. some,
the world will cry.
there will be 200 million. You don't want to die? Like, I don't understand your logic. We will kill all of them if necessary. You know what I would say like this? We will kill anyone that wants to kill us. That's it.
Right, but if you kill too many
If
people,
there will be
you're
two,
gonna start wondering.
no, it's not too many. Every person like that.
One person says, I'm only gonna kill people that try to kill me, and everyone tries to kill him, and he starts piles of bodies
Yes.
stacking up around.
Okay.
And then someone goes, you know what? He did it in self-defense, but like when he killed a million,
Yes.
it feels like we should maybe wonder if he's the problem.
No. No, it's self-defense, self-defense. And each one, as long as they respect, as long as they listen.
You have a million bodies, and you can
Yes.
all of them.
That's fine. But the fact you think that it's democratic, the fact that, yeah, okay, so if a woman is being raped 7 times, it's her fault. Like, I don't.
You also get to a maximum of a population. A population will swell really magnificent. So it's really possible they're going to include the population get bigger, but there is a maximum. Like it can't just keep going. Let's get 100 million now.
Yeah, at some point they'll start.
Whatever, they can also stop killing us. But
I don't totally agree with what you said, but I think, yeah, the numbers just, you gotta up the birth rate, and also probably be less attached to the land and realize that the land
I
is
disagree with you. I
difficult
don't think
to
it's the way to
You agree with them?
It's not true. It's not true.
Also, if you think about it,
But you
everyone
don't
in
need a number to
Gaza,
conquer the world. England showed us that.
everyone in Gaza is really on welfare, right? Because they are all
Yes.
counting on the charity of the rest of the world. So I don't see how they're going to be a vast majority and they're going to be able to even self-sustain. And I don't think the world is wanting for them to reproduce as much as they want so that we all take care of them.
If they get
Israel
more
cannot defeat their birth rate strategy. The birth rate strategy is going to be successful in various ways over time. Like you might be thinking of just like bodies to throw at the issue, but I'm thinking of all the things humans can do. It's propaganda, it's friends, it's family. All of that increases the war effort. And their birth rate strategy is sound. It will continue to make this a more difficult conflict. And we will not be able to compete with them. Just
Why
because
not?
like
I'm
they
not
have
sure.
a strategy.
Well, they
I'm
are
not sure
not
what
advanced, dude.
Why do you think number is the thing that matters? Like, you know, one can
It
give
matters to anyone on this planet.
Okay,
is what
so
other people
under
think.
this,
And the
under
more
this
people you have
argument,
thinking what
like
you
that,
think, the more people agree with you.
under this
No,
argument, like
but,
that,
I
do
don't
you
agree with
think
you,
that
Lisa.
India, hold on, under this argument,
I got
do you
further
think
something.
that all fucking,
No,
Hold
that
on.
people think what they say.
so
One
under
second,
this
just one.
argument, that, do you think that India could invade the US and they could win?
That India could win against Pakistan.
No, USA.
India is an ally of the U.S.
No, but I don't
No,
think he says
so
that. I
we're
think
talking about ally or not ally. Do you think that if India attacked the US wouldn't be able to defend
They
themselves?
are
Because they're
invading.
2.2?
India is invading Canada.
Yeah, but oh my God.
Oh, guys, try to stay on the topic.
Yeah, they can
Why
win in 5 generations.
If
They can win.
India today
Just bring up a great
decided,
point. Just shut up and listen.
everyone. So if India today decided to attack the USA, do you think that the USA would lose
No,
just because there's 2 billion?
no.
But
Okay,
it's not what
what's
he
the
said.
thing?
No, he was talking about public perception. He wasn't talking about like a war.
Yeah,
No, he's talking about war. He's talking about not being able to handle the outnumbered.
Instead of asking whether or not India can defeat America in a warfare because there's 2 billion of them, ask instead, what would the world look like if India and America were fully at war with each other? What kinds of things would we see in the media, would we hear about from Indian sources of media and American sources of media? I'm saying like a true war.
Yeah, it's always the underdog, the one that is the weakest,
No, it's not about an underdog. You're questioning how you can tell the story. My point is, stories are only as important as the people who read them and understand them. If you have 2 billion people
So they
sympathetic
would
to
win the
India,
media war. What? So what?
why Russia No, there's 2 billion of them. You're not going to kill all of them. You're going to attack the warriors.
Well, if
and
you
the
have
survivors are going to
to do.
tell everyone about how annoying you were.
Well, whatever, but I mean, you don't kill all of them if they are actually all wanting to kill you.
Yeah, but they never do. There's always women, there's always children, there's always relatives who tell the story of how vicious you were in your war against their evil relatives.
Well, I don't care.
Yeah, I know, but
And these
facts,
children that we're
numbers
talking
matter.
about are
But
17,
just to be
15 years old that are in the militia. They're not
But also-
children.
And also facts matter. I mean, if like many people think that the flat is Earth, yes, they can do it. Could be like a long, like many people that will believe it will not make it into reality. And the fact that many people believe something doesn't make it like we don't need to change. No, many people are saying a lot of things about us. It doesn't mean that it's true. We need to know what is true.
Okay, what's this 100,000 number I keep hearing?
My ex-wife.
I don't know. We're playing with words here, making
What
scenarios.
is the number again?
Number of what?
The number of Palestinians dead? 100,000?
No, girl, we were doing an
Where are
exercise.
they getting this 100,000 number?
Who's getting?
Carol, we're doing a scenario.
She's bringing up a whole new topic. She's talking
Yeah,
about
correct.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
middle of
Forget it,
the
forget it.
conversation.
Ah, okay. I get it.
Because we were saying 100 million, I think, or something like this.
Yeah,
No, really, because we're talking about something. We're talking about India and United States having a war like in missionary world.
Why would we go to war with India? We absolutely need India.
Oh my God!
Labor.
This just became more autistic.
Okay, listen for a moment and get the thought. We're not set down the conversation.
Chinese labor is there. Indian labor is there. To pick up the mantle of cheap labor that's good. The problem is they're not as good as the Chinese, but they're getting better because we're giving them better machinery.
We're just looking at numbers, not about like actual India. We're just looking for a nation that has many people, but is not technologically advanced. And like to see if like the fact that there are just more people would mean that they would win the United States. Not actually, it could be any other country that is just big. China, for example.
If war with the numbers gave the mathematicians split. War is not a numbers game, sorry. It's not. You should know that better than anyone.
You're right, it is not all about numbers. India would not defeat America, and Palestinians, though they may outnumber the Israelis, would likely not be in a war. My point is simply that you have to acknowledge that it is a legitimate and useful, effective strategy. We can defeat it. It's simply like a technique, and it works. It works very, very well. You can maintain your own absolutely illogical, inconsistent, personal narrative for generations with this technique.
Okay.
No, you can't. No, absolutely not.
No, you will not win a war just with.
You're talking about wars are fought with AI and drones and technology. You are not in and you don't have that technology. That's one drone kills 100,000 people. Like, it's absolutely not a numbers game. It's whoever has the best technology. And that translates to whoever's the richest. So money wins wars, in my opinion, not the numbers. Well, I guess it's a different number. Kind of.
See, I would say that Israel's technique to deal with the fact that it's a small nation has mostly been to align itself with, as close as they can, to actions which the majority or the entirety of the planet would agree are good. That's how they sidestep the size. They try to be good and document it.
Okay,
We're trying to be good, not according to what the most of the world thinks.
Incorrect.
No,
No,
you're incorrect.
correct. You're incorrect, Ted. If you want to
You're
discuss
incorrect.
it, we'll just say
What
incorrect.
Israel decided to do is to create the Iron Dome and position the U.S. government. They were successful in that regard, both regards, okay? And that is the thing that keeps Israel safe as a small country surrounded by enemies. Again, technology. But the whole good thing we're down for, which is the whole reason we support it. So the good thing matters to us. Democratic values matter to us. A place where it can be alongside, no one messes with it, you go and party, go to any kind of club we want. We like this for it. If it's quote unquote sinful, I don't know. But it's more important that you have the ability to do have but it's important that you can. And in a place where they are, like in the Middle East without them, I mean, it's all for the Muslims, and it's basically Sharia law. They have no other balance. They just want the whole region. You need some balance. Anyways, Daniel, when is this work going to be done? I'm really super curious about it.
So the other channels.
About the war is a community.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to offer other channels. Like Netflix almost has nothing about it. You really like stay out and like games, vacation, stuff like this. Like stay out of like news. Not hear about it. But it will take a while. We have a few more months.
By the way,
Yeah,
I don't know if you
agree.
look at the chat, but they are talking about how they want to have a raw agreement, so Zionists shouldn't have criticism towards the Palestinians that they cooperated with Nazi Germany.
We don't listen to all those people. We don't have any criticism. You're the one like always going trying to kind of turn back time, and you learn like 3 pages of like the history. And history is a bit more than just those 3 memes that they saw on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And you know what? It doesn't matter. You can think whatever you want. We also like no one has an animosity for the Palestinians because they collaborate with Nazis. Like okay, like really, this is not any. You do. It's for most people, it's not like on the list of any like top 10, top 20 priorities.
Not Nazis, not Nazis, but I would say that I do think it is a huge stain on the Nazi movement.
Rody, what if?
Sorry, not the Nazi movement, the Palestinian movement.
Rody, let's give this.
Yeah. Man, one more sentence before you move on. I have a problem that they're using now the Nazi symbols, not that they did it like in the 30s.
Yeah, Rody,
Don't you think?
No, I don't think it's Israel. Let's say in 1975, the Nazis would have made some type of agreement with Israel, and they'd be living in peace since then. This would be 3rd generation. And you would read in history they cooperated with the Nazis. You would be like, I can't believe I'm like working with co-workers who are probably cooperated with the Nazis. It's only because what's going on now that you're saying is a theme that's running through, but that's not your issue.
Great. I'm not talking about the issue. Look, what I'm saying is that it would be a huge stain, right? If, for example, I would learn that not I would say that I do think it is a huge stain on the Nazi. I would say it is a huge stain on the history of Zionism.
Okay.
Right?
But that is okay.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
And I'm saying, no, it is not the case. But I'm saying it is the case for the Palestinian movement because Hajj al-Husseini was collaborating with the Nazis. In a way to kill people, including Jews. Like one of the things that he did.
That's not really the issue. That's an acceleration. That's just you showing that there's been a theme going on here for a few generations. But like that's not really your issue. Like if there was peace today, you wouldn't be bringing this up. I mean, you might in history, you might be talking about it.
Yeah,
But you wouldn't say there's like a stain on the entire Palestinian nation.
No, wait, one second. I can be an Israeli, but not sympathize with the Zionist cause. Right? I'm not saying anything about the Palestinian nation. I'm talking about the Palestinian movement.
If there was peace, let's put it the other way. If there's a German that I meet, I'm more likely to become friends with a German, and they told me you know, I found in my family history that my grandfather was Nazi. He hid it because it obviously became unpopular. I think it wouldn't change my opinion of the person. They didn't do anything wrong. My grandfather fell into a bad ideology, and maybe that person.
She copied and pasted the wrong thing.
Yeah, but my point is,
Do you think Nazi Germany? Wait, do you think Germany?
My boss copied and pasted my message.
Yes or no?
Oops.
Nazi Germany has,
No.
and Germany has a price to pay. But hold on,
Of course they do.
Rosie, I think the Rosie problem is, I think the problem is about like fundamental Husseini and his alliance with Nazis, that this ideology still exists today. And when you talk about the Havara agreement, it doesn't matter because that is history. But when we're talking about the Nazi ideology that still exists with the Palestinian, it's because it still exists. You see flags.
I agree with you.
And I think this is like why there's not both sides. Like,
I agree with you, Daniel. I agree with you. I agree with you that if you want to focus on how to resolve problems, you should talk about the issues that are currently at hand. I'm not saying that is not the case. I'm not sure if this is your criticism towards what I'm saying. What I am saying is something that is very simple, right? The fact that they are talking about the Havara agreement as a response that we shouldn't talk, we shouldn't blame the Palestinian, the Palestinian movement or the Arab nationalistic movement in Palestine in the history. I think that would be false because the Havara agreement was merely talking about transferring Jews from Germany to Israel, right? In my opinion, also because they wanted for them to not be persecuted. Right, that's obvious. The Zionist movement is basically a refugee movement. But, once again, they were talking about that we shouldn't mention and criticize the nationalistic movement of the Arabs in Palestine back in those times.
Exactly, Rudy. That's what I said. The reason that we are criticizing it or mentioning it is because it still goes on. So the fact that they try to bring the Havara agreement, which again is not siding with the Nazis, but even to attack it, it doesn't really matter. What matters and the reason that it's still alive is because the ideology, and I think this should be the reply to them.
No, I understand. I understand. We're talking past each other. I'm like, look, what I'm talking about is specifically.
You said that they bring the Havara agreement as a rebuttal or like that we cannot talk about the Nazi alliance, right? No rebuttal, like you are not allowed to talk about the Nazis. And what I think is
You are not allowed to criticize the Palestinians.
I understand.
Because the Jews also collaborate.
I understand, but for this I will answer that the reason that I can criticize because it's still going on today and why it still matters. Otherwise, I would not even.
No, you can't.
For me.
No.
I would criticize because I think it's.
Okay, so let me talk about that. Because I don't think you can do that specifically because if it hadn't been the case, you said that you wouldn't even mention it. The fact that right now,
but I live in Germany, Rodi, and yes, I don't mention it, and I don't have a problem living here, and I also have like a relationship with a German.
I know. I
It's not a problem.
don't have a problem with that. I have German friends. I don't care. I visited Germany 2 times. I'm not using that as like a gotcha for anyone. I'm not like saying you're a horrible person. I'm not saying a German person right now is horrible because something that his grandfather did. No, I would never do something like that. No, but again, I will criticize Nazi Germany even though it wasn't history in the same way that I will criticize the Palestinian movement for collaborating with Germany.
Not exactly. But who cares about the rest? If
you don't care about the history, that's fine.
What I'm saying is that the brand post the true. If the Arabs wouldn't have, there would become peace and there would be a thing, and we wouldn't be bringing up a awful example of
Wait, I don't understand. If I would talk about the history and then criticize the past movements, right? I would have like some type of normative claims about those movements.
Those that were around, for the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So in America,
I'm only talking about those movements. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about those.
in America over here, we had a large group of people that were upset that the Germans were ahead of us on eugenics, and they were discussing how America has to catch up on eugenics. The Nazis also filled the fences regarding the 20,000 people. The abortion independent that was viciously anti-Semitic. Like reprinting around political like it all happened. It doesn't make America a bad country.
I never claimed to be very vague on again. When you claimed the Palestinian nation, like you said that we call that Palestinian nation.
Even if it was no, that's what they're trying to do. That's what else they're trying to do. The entire scientific movement is legitimate because they did this, which is first of all not even true. It wasn't even a corporation the way they're claiming. And even if it was a corporation the way it's claiming, so there was scientists that did something wrong 75 years ago. Like it's not when you bring up the Grand Mufti, it's not because you're saying that a Mufti did something wrong. It's still prevalent today. So it's a current claim. They're trying to create
This,
a sin.
this might be your intention.
Of the ideology.
Yeah, man, this might be your intention. That's not my intention.
No, that's
I'm talking specifically.
That's what I'm
No. There are two claims that you make. One is about their intention, the other one is about your intention. Their intention is to say, one second, bro. Their intention is that they want to go back to this. Now you want to say that when we say it, we're want to say that it's still prevalent, right? Your intention is to show how it is prevalent to this day and how it's been going to start, right? This is your intention to say, look, you are still using Nazi ideology, but in Gaza you see a lot of Mein Kampf, it's like one of the symbols groups and so on and so forth. I understand. But my intention is not even that. My intention is literally just to criticize the Arab nationalistic movements in Palestine. Or the leaders of the nationalistic movements in Palestine.
I don't think you can do that.
Just remember how we started this. Benny said that the Zionists shouldn't criticize the Palestinians for collaborating with Nazi Germany because the old Zionists themselves collaborated with Nazi Germany. Right? That's how this conversation started.
Yes, and I'm trying
and then I mentioned that this is what happened in the room chat, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you, but what I'm trying to say, the whole point of what Rebelli is saying is creating balance to legitimize it from the bottom. So he's trying to say the foundation is illegitimate. So what you're saying is more sophisticated. He's just trying to say that everything is illegitimate. And that's ridiculous. It's not even an illegitimacy that you can even start. He just has nothing to say. So he's trying to like the ideology of all.
Yeah, no, but just to be clear, I'm saying that he didn't specifically claim that. Had he claimed that, I would say to you, this is garbage. Let's suppose I would say the exact same thing that you said right now. Had I captured this intention from him, but I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was his intention. Or at least it's not explicit. At least it's not explicit, or I don't see the implication. In the same way that I wouldn't say that, because Hajamin al-Husseini was so-and-so, right? This is why, the Palestinians that want to have peace, two-state solution, so on and so forth, are illegitimate. want to have a two-state solution.
Almost not. Will never be. They want to move into Arab states. Two states was
I just thought that.
Listen, man, that was shock, Charlie. It was like what, 2 o'clock in the morning. People.
You're right, Benjamin. Can I ask you a question?
You have to refer to me as my favorite scientist. That's my preferred pronoun.
Yeah, Reverend, but I want to ask you, what's your mission in the life as a human?
Well, it's complicated. I have a superposition of goals, several simultaneously. So I think it should be more specific, like contextually. What's my mission this morning? What's my mission here? We just talked
As
about
a human, as a person, as a human.
talked about the quid pro quo where I help people figure out where they're lying to themselves when they're indulging in self-deception, and they help me figure out where I'm indulging in self-deception. I'd say my goal on YouTube is to get to a point where we can clear enough of the lies away that was left we can all see clearly as truth.
But what he is asking is, where does your bullshit start and when does your bullshit stop?
My bullshit.
No, your bullshit. What are you doing with YouTube? Are you putting people on YouTube and doxing them?
I don't have time for that.
That's right. You are my favorite scientist. You are a great scientist, Benjamin. Thank you for helping open up my eyes with regards to the importance of science. I mean, even looking at your PTR makes me realize that I am stupid.
I didn't draw this picture. I'm trying to say
Obviously, I know you just screenshot it, but I'm saying that I don't understand it. Can you explain it to me, please?
yeah, the picture drawn is a battery on the top, and at the bottom is a kind of a difficult picture, but it's the moment after the two wires have been connected at the bottom, and there's still, as you can see, an equilibrium of charges on the right and an equilibrium of charges on the left. And the drawing is showing that within the wire, motivated by the electric charges, the electrons will flow.
Do you think that the symbolism in chemistry or in physics is occultish, meaning that the words like neutron, proton, electron, atom have biblical, foundations, and that we cross-associate these terms with these biblical narratives? I mean, do you ever get that? It's not a feeling. I mean, do you detect that?
Adrian, why the normal voice today? Can't we get Shirley or something?
You want me to be sweet, beautiful Adrian, you darling Christian succulent who believes in your scientific genius?
That sounds more interesting. Yeah, that sounds
This is more exciting, isn't it?
No, I like it when you really try to pull off the female persona. That was hilarious. Dude.
Tiffany Sotheby?
Yeah, if you could come in as Tiffany Sotheby, that sounds good.
Yeah, well, they killed Tiffany. She was assassinated with Trump and Roger Mayhem as well. Many people don't know this, but I'm actually Roger Mayhem.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's the truest words ever spoken.
Well, Alfonso, thank you for putting together this no titled atheism room. I think you're a great person. You're very nice, very patient, and thoughtful and considerate. And Benjamin, I wish you were more like Alfonso, honestly, because I think you could help change people's opinions more to essentially unravel their own bullshit, as you put it, and get to the truth. Which I agree that what you said was correct. Is that we are all projecting, and that we use each other to course correct our bullshit. And as someone who feels that I have scaled away the bullshit, and I have gotten to a core truth, it's still kind of just more bullshit. And then you become a self-actualization guru or a self-actualization hypnotist. And then you create a cult. And then you start making love to beautiful women. And then all the money from heaven, all the mana falls down on your lap like science.
Well, let me know how that works out for you.
No, it's working right now. We're doing it right now. You don't get it. That's why you're far away from God. And you are an atheist scientist who fails to recognize magic in nature and how you can course correct the currents of the world just by saying the right magical incantations like abracadabra.
Yes.
I mean, are you aware of magic as a philosophy or as a category or a topic of study? Because there's thousands of books dedicated.
I'm gonna come back, and we can continue our conversation whenever this interlude is over. But
My bad. I don't mean to be an interloper. Let me leave first. Go ahead, Benjamin. Enjoy your time here. Oh, I guess he didn't want to listen to my voice. It must be that toxic. I guess that's a great compliment. That means I disgusted someone so disgusting that they couldn't stand the disgustingness of our combine of disgustingness. This is the true definition of absolute vulgarity. The filth of Adrian and Benjamin combined overrode his filth detection system. But Alfonso, I was going to say, do you think that Benjamin enjoys poetry? Because if you're so scientifically based in your content consumption and you don't have time for poetry, I get the feeling that you're A, not as smart as you think you are, and B, you're not as delicate of a flower as you think you are. That your bullshit is still very high, or Benjamin's bullshit wall is still very high.
I want to have a question for Benjamin usually. So I'm gonna ask okay. Are you ready for the question?
I'm ready.
Okay, what's your interpretation for existing?
How do you define existence?
Yeah, based on science.
My name is Jorge Ayala. I am from Mexico, but I am living in South Texas. I am the chief financial.
Would be Why is everyone leaving Chicago?
And our language machines interpret to be in the world around us. And then everybody has their own perspective. Their perspective.
Chicago is home to plenty of burger spots, but few can call themselves an underground elite for politicians, celebs, and journalists. Over 85 years, this restaurant has evolved into one of Chicago's most iconic culinary landmarks.
Reality and existence is what we have the ability to predict, what we have the ability to perceive, and I think, I'm on a predictive journey, that things are real or existent when we can predict how they behave, what they're like, what they feel like, how our senses are gonna bring in the information.
So science, you can say another way that must be experienced for the human being's life. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to continue running the room. I just have some work to do. Happy for you guys to engage. Otherwise we can. Sorry, I can't engage right now. I'm a little busy.
Yeah, no worries. If you want to shut it down, or if you want to mod me or DJ, go for it. But DJ, I was going to ask you. You asked Benjamin what is his, purpose as a person, and he couldn't answer that question. He said a better question would be to ask me what's my purpose right now, or in the next 10 minutes. So he has no clear understanding of his mission in life, or what objective he has, or what problems he's trying to solve. And I think it's an obvious answer. It's really fun. I think fun is the answer, and it's just like son or God, meaning it's a 3-letter word like you, Y-O-U. And I think with the triplicity or the trinity, or a relative understanding based off of 3 markers or positionings, you can get a better understanding of who you are, which is hopefully fun. And someone who has suffered with depression for many years, or mania for many years, I gotta say that it's not fun to be polar. You want to be centered, or at least equilibrized or equilibrated, or have an equilibrium. So that's the balance of the isosceles triangle, and the power, or the symbolic reference, or the mythology or motif of a triangle or sacred geometry. So, if you just represent yourself as a scientist all the time, and you want to look at pictures of electrons and circuitry and physics or chemistry, cool, but that's not necessarily going to propel you to a life of fun, success, and happiness and joy. To me, it takes wisdom, or philosophy, or poetry, or occult knowledge, or biblical knowledge, or Chinese or Indian philosophical discourse knowledge, like the Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching, or the Dhammapada by the Buddha, or the Upanishads, or the Vedas, or the Bhagavad Gita. All of these books, which is a lot of information, which is gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes, if you can put it in your brain and you can talk about it, well, now you're smarter than somebody who just looks at pictures through an electron microscope. I mean, most of these physicists and chemists involved in industrial research and industrial manufacturing, many of them have a religious, spiritual side to themselves, because they see the pragmatic usefulness of it in essentially regulating self, and regulating family, or regulating society, or regulating conduct, or ethics and morals. So to me, that's the fine equilibrium between atheism and theism, which is a good place to be, which is on the side of the law, not on the side of anarchy. I mean, you know, society is getting extraordinarily dangerous because there is no equilibrium. Everyone is essentially becoming hardcore atheist or so far away from the source of truth that they make up the rules as they deem fit, and that's detrimental to oneself and to one's society. These are just my opinions and thoughts. Thank you so much. We'll call you, don't call us.
Yeah, exactly. I feel he's doing that because he wants to feel more valuable. Like, no, empty inside, you have no spirit, you feel empty. So you're gonna, and what does it hurt? So you're gonna feel that with some signs and things like that.
You have to fill the void with something, whether it's music or scientific research. I mean, you have to find things to do. You have to have topics of interest that you want to talk about, because this app is like a talk therapy app, and it's really a medical device technology company that delivers you dopamine feedback loops. And so for Benjamin, you know, and many other people, they don't progress intellectually, psychologically, analytically, academically, because they're not putting in what they claim they're putting out. They're really getting short term feedback, and they're not working on their long term feedback.
Exactly.
Adrian, could you be speaking in broad terms here? I think that there's some people on this app that actually learn and change. If that's possible.
Oh yeah, you're talking. Adrian is an example of that. Me, I mean, I have changed intellectually, but the biggest change is anger, and that means that I don't get road rage, and many people on this app get road rage.
I always love your comments. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. Anger definitely has been altered. When you hear other people's perspectives, it makes you have a wider lens, I think. And that's what I'm here for, a wider lens.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say the narrow lens is what you're really after.
Yeah, perhaps. That's funny. Interesting. I guess we're all looking for a lens. Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
I want to ask Adrian, are you religious?
Yeah, I'm religious, but in the sense, I believe in the opposite religion, meaning that when you ask me if I'm religious, I say I'm very religious because I am not very religious. So, meaning that I want equilibrium. I don't necessarily want to go join somebody's organization or cult, because that is essentially them parasiting off of me as opposed to like me. I don't, it's not about parasitism. It's more about time management and how I think I can effectively change the environment more than some organization can with me, because this app is the organization that a lot of people are looking for because it's so decentralized. There's no risk to joining this decentralization of communication.
But why you think religion is like organization? It's not organization. I think you study Islam, Christian.
Yeah, I've read parts of bits and pieces of Quran, and then I've read a lot of Rumi, so Sufism, at least from the Islamic branch.
You read some, but you read the whole book. You can make sure 100% if you're not reading the whole book.
Yeah, I don't understand your point. I could just tell you that to me, every book is the same as every other book, but some books are better than other books.
Yeah, but it's not like listen, it's God words. You have gonna look it as some like anybody wrote this and you have you rate this like this good, this is not good, this your God, your creation. This if you die, you're gonna go to hell or heaven. So it's not something you are just created by good or bad. Realistic.
Okay, great. I mean, if you can land a plane or make a point, go for it.
Yeah, I want to know how far you are. Like, if you don't know anything, I can put some topic to talk about. But you know something that you really want to see, like, this problem here, or you have any doubts in it.
Yeah, I was at.
Yeah. I understand.
So I was looking for my Quran or Quran. I couldn't find it, but I can just read you something from Rumi, and I don't think it's me who's missing something or has questions about something, as if you could explain to me some type of interpretation that I couldn't understand without you. I would just read something to you direct right now, as opposed to asking questions. Questions are the problem. And this poem is by Rumi, if the mods will let me. It's a very brief poem, less than a page, but it's called Someone Digging in the Ground. This is by Rumi. It says, "An eye is meant to see things. The soul is here for its own joy. A head has one use, for loving a true love, legs to run after. Love is for vanishing into the sky, the mind for learning what men have done and tried to do. Mysteries are not to be solved. The eye goes blind when it only wants to see why. A lover is always accused of something, but when he finds his love, whatever was lost, and the looking comes back completely changed. On the way to Mecca, many dangers, thieves, the blowing sand, and only camel's milk to drink. Still each pilgrim kisses the black stone there with pure longing, feeling in the surface the taste of the lips he wants. This talk is like stamping new coins. They pile up while the real work is done outside by someone digging in the ground."
This is a translator. From
Sorry, I just went to the kitchen. What was that?
I was talking to DJ.
I mean, did you understand that poem, Someone Digging in the Ground? Did you even hear it? Because I know my mic sucks.
Yeah, your mic is very rumbly, but we heard the whole poem. I'm just waiting on DJ to reply. He said that he asked if it was a hadith or if it was from the Quran, and because it's not from the Quran or from hadith, he wants to critique it as if it's not truth. And I see this as problematic, so I'm waiting on his reply. Hello, DJ.
Okay, tell me what's your problem? What about it?
What about just holding on to the hadith and the Quran as sole truth?
How the admin that say,
Oh, with the text
I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah, because it's wisdom literature. It's by the people who are beyond the hadith and the Quran. They hold wisdom. In every tradition there are these prophets from the outside of the tradition, and they speak truth into the tradition oftentimes by using poetry. And this is exactly what Rumi is doing. What's your problem? Alright, I guess we can move on from this topic. What's up, Alfonso? How you doing?
I'm good. Just preparing some material for my classes. I have beloved.
Oh. That's cool. So you guys are together?
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's why I'm not engaging much. Just open the room and.
I see. What classes is it?
Music.
Any particular kind of music?
All-rounded instruments and everything that has to do with, rhythms and melodies and reading.
I took a introduction to music course when I was in college, and I have a funny story. I was kind of forced against my will to sing in tune with the piano, and my teacher literally said to me, "You hold the worst one I've ever heard before in my life."
That's encouraging.
Yeah, it was very encouraging. It was amazing. She sort of wrecked my whole idea because I thought I wanted to go into music, but I kind of wanted to go into the business end of music, so I knew that was my first step. Yeah, I was very discouraged by that comment. She was very direct, and I don't think that I think I can hold a tune a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, kind of funny anecdote.
Yeah, you have to have a special talent to be a teacher, right? It's not easy.
Sensitivity could be a primary.
And the willingness to have patience with your students.
Yeah. Definitely. So it's good to hear. Are you back teaching? Because I didn't think that you were for a while.
Oh, I have a couple of students now. I'm gonna try to get more.
Okay. I see. Good.
Yeah. How have you been?
Been doing excellent, man. The kids are back in school, and I told you, I think I told you we have a baby on the way in October, so.
October's she's due?
Yeah, so we're super excited. It's my third girl, so we're all stoked over here, getting excited, making nesting, and making the house prepared for her. So it's an exciting time for me and my family.
Yeah. What number is she?
My third girl.
Third girl. Cool.
Yeah. I have 5.5, 2.5, and
Wow.
you know, I was wondering about, I don't know how many people listen back to the replays, but I was wondering about
Come on, man.
transparency actually on this app, because normally I don't really share a lot personally, but because you and I are friends, we could always talk in private. But I just wonder about that, because I know that you're very transparent, and I wonder how you approach that. Is there anything that you kind of hold back with this, or?
Yeah, I think I'm a little reckless, to be honest. I should share less. There's a sort of accountability
Yeah.
thing that forces me to right. It's like having God watching over you when you, but still can't be reckless beyond what we should be.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I've appreciated that out of you, though, just especially with your story, telling your story, and I've heard it many times. So I would think being transparent about all of that, I think, is important. Based on
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, it helps us normalize mental illness.
yeah,
Other people feel comfortable sharing, and it weeds out the people you don't want to be around. Who are going to be judgmental and toxic. They just leave.
So I had someone critique me today, earlier this morning, me calling myself an agnostic theist. They didn't like that at all. There were people in the chat who were making fun of my profile.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I should change it.
This is what I say now. Fuck them.
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm with low tolerance for haters.
I get to say whatever I want in my profile. Thank you very much. If you don't like it, then talk to me in private. Don't blast me on my chat. It's unbelievable. What are you doing right now? You don't know me, and get to a little bit. Listen to me and my voice on this app that I contribute so much time to. Yeah.
I'm going to get back to work. I don't know if you want to hold the room open.
What was the YouTube that you posted up? Because I would maybe keep it on topic if I do keep it open.
Oh, you don't need to keep on topic, but it's a video on. It criticizes the lying psychologists who fool the world about some research that I think somebody was trying to expose. People who publish work that isn't actually scientific, how easy it is to mislead people and make them believe that something is scientific when it's actually not.
I see. Yeah. That's something that's right up Benjamin's alley, I think. I think he makes statements against science oftentimes. But, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know that I'll keep it open. I gotta tend to these kids and get my day started and stuff too. But just always coming here to chat with you.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get some time later. I want to get this work done now.
Yeah, I see you less often on the app, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for Israel to go back to the guidelines that they agreed upon with the ICJ and all these international organizations when it's about their lives. They're going to put in as a priority their lives. And so the way of solving this is not listening anymore to the intermediator, but actually get to a finalization.
Okay, but let me push back on that. So let's say we're using Jabali as an example, right? Well, at the end of the day, right, it's up to me and you being this is what diplomacy, right? The way you're supposed to.
That's right. It should be between you and me.
Right, Israel is supposed to be the only democracy in the Middle East, right? They know how to run things, and everybody needs that. So when Jabali comes in, somebody will argue with Jabali. They were following the rules either. So somebody's instigated Jabali. Jabali argues back.
But hold on.
But you have to. You're the one in control. But somebody arguing with Jabali, you're in control, right?
And this, yeah, you're going around the bushes. I understand what you're saying. I'm going to agree with you. So I think let me finish with the example. You're right. So the conflict is between you and me. The conflict is between you and me.
Yeah, but I'm giving an example of like how people are coming in between me and you.
Yes, exactly. So that's my point. The conflict is between you and me. So now,
I'm giving an example of how other people come
I
in.
get it.
The rules here are that she could cut you off. That's what the green V means.
So listen, Meyer, hold on.
Okay, that's
Aziz, so listen, I get where you're going, and I understand that other people are getting in the middle of the conflict of you and me. So now it's between you and me. Daniel doesn't have any power because he cannot control us both. And so it's like, okay, Aziz, let's make a deal. But in order for you and I to have peace again, you.
So I just wanted to show that I can control you both.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, so Aziz, so I tell you, in order for you and I to go back to a peaceful conversation or even to a work conversation, you need to disown Jibeli. And you're like, no, because that's my friend and he's the only one defending me. Because Jibeli's Hamas. And I'm like, yeah, dude, but with Jibeli in this, you and I are not going to be able to get along because he is violent. So either you get rid of him, or we're not going to have peace.
Okay, so let me respond to that now. So somebody, like I said, I didn't say somebody else is arguing with Jabali. I'm not asking you to disown them. Do you understand? We are in the positions of diplomacy and power where above you have the control, and I am appealing to you in conversation, right? If people get involved and they don't understand the rules, they're not involved in the rules, they're like basically civilians, right? And they create uproar. It's up to us to maintain the diplomacy of the Middle East that everyone expects of us, right? So if we now act like the savages that we hate, how are we any different? So, and let's be honest, right? We can talk about Hamas for 15 years, some shit like that. You know, there were entities before that, PLO, all different, you know, we can point the fingers on October 7th, but there were numerous dates before that. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong, I'm just saying we have to think about you're almost becoming the monsters you're afraid of. That's all I'm saying.
So that's absolutely untrue. You can keep saying that and think you won a point, but if you actually go through what happened, and we can go through it one by one, what the IDF is doing is keeping a code of conduct. They are executing the war in the most humane way possible. And a war is war. And just to say the atrocities on both sides is a very lazy pseudo-intellectual thing of saying. But we spent hours going through allegation, and they're all untrue. Historically untrue, currently untrue. No, so Israel is the one following. It's very hard to try to wrap the rules and the others aren't. But if you put up a sign on top of your missile manufacturer that says school and then claim that that's a violation, So then you're just breaking more rules and blaming the other side. Like even what happened here with the settlements, the guy absolutely knew nothing about the settlements. Your example of saying, let's talk about the rules when things were calm, let's create a 14th convention and see if it follows the rules. Or if it's 54 Arab states. And
Peace. This is the big secret of 2020.
Today,
an argument that Israel.
I understand your point. And it would be a valid point if you, it's the point you're making the point that Israel hasn't violated any codes of conduct, and that to me,
No, the violation of code of conduct. The violation of code of conduct. He didn't say that. We were talking about humanity and crimes. We're talking about those.
Right. What I'm saying is, he's saying that Israel are trying to conduct themselves as ethically as possible, and it's the Palestinians that are being unethical. Now, I will accept that if the reality is I can accept that October 7th is wrong, and I can accept. I don't know how many of those people died at the hands of Palestinians. I heard some of them died at the hands of the IDF as well, so I don't know what truly happened that day, but it's a tragedy. I can accept that. I can accept.
That's irrelevant.
But I can accept that there were wrongs on, you know, the Hamas made a mistake with that move. That was wrong. But I wouldn't be naive enough. Now, you sound like an intelligent man when I was speaking to you, but you're making a claim that they haven't made any mistakes, and that's not possible.
No, I didn't say they didn't make any mistakes, because no one does make mistakes. I said they intended to do it the most ethically possible. It's very different than making a mistake. Obviously, bombing 3 people from the kitchen was a mistake, but it was an innocent mistake because they didn't tell them where they were.
I
The
didn't
NGO
say
should have.
innocent mistake.
Well, I would do that, and I'm the one talking. So I would, and I'm the one talking. So it's very unfair to switch what I'm saying to the never was a mistake. It was very easy to say I'm against October 7th. I'm against the entire way Hamas is conducting the war in its totality. They are hiding behind civilians, which happens to be a war crime. They are claiming that Israel's bombing a hospital, but they are using the hospital as a command center. They are putting up signs that say school, but they're basically putting a school sign on a military base. They're shooting rockets out of the school, and it's summertime, so there are no kids in the school. So like every part of this like allegation, and just to say, obviously there was a mistake. I guarantee you. I'm gonna report you. Yeah. So and the other thing you smuggled something else in, which I forgot now because it was in the middle. So you can respond. I'll come back to it.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
In that IDF killed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you smuggled in claiming that the IDF killed. Let's just. Yeah, but let me just answer because you keep smuggling things in. Let's just pretend that on October 7th the IDF killed people, Israeli citizens. Right? If that did happen, which you have no evidence of, then what happened was Hamas pulled off a terror attack with the intent to confuse people. They dressed up in IDF uniform, and they found dead bodies that are Hamas that we know were IDF. And then the IDF came into the. I have more proof of that than you have than the IDF. I have more proof of that than you have than any Israeli guy. Okay. And so if you create a chaos, you create a thing. Let's just give you the most benefit of the doubt. Let's say the IDF is a very poorly trained army. They make terrible things and they don't know what they're doing. If you make an attack against and then the army responds poorly, it's still all on you. Like you went over the border, you killed people, and then the response was done poorly. So you don't get to say, well, you know, in your response to putting out the fire that I started, your border hose killed somebody. Well, you should start fire, dude.
Well, the fire didn't start on that day, and I just want to get back to you on the point you made.
That fire started on that day. Everything on that day.
It's been a forest fire. That's a bush fire.
That fire started on that day.
The fire. This has been a great fire, a long fire, has been burning for a very long time. It's a forest fire. It's not a bush fire on October 7th. It's a forest fire, and that is when we can focus.
Oh, there was no fire on October 6th.
All I can tell you is we didn't start the fire.
But hear me out. So you made the claim about human shields in hospitals, right? I can give you evidence. Like you just made a claim, but I can give you evidence, right? That first of all, the human shields. So if half of the population are children in Gaza, right? How many of them are there men hiding behind? Because these are being bombed, not shot at. So you can't keep a shield behind the bomb. So that's
like a
You're not gonna
spaghetti
use
of
your hands
violence.
against
And
slower
for one
and
second, and hold on, and one second, I'm just, I'm not intervening, I'm not intervening, I'm just saying something and I will back on it. What about the topic? Just if you can speak slower. What? Just if you can speak slower and like make one point and then someone responds to you like shortly and we'll keep it like ping pong but short, not like long speeches.
I respect that. I wish I could speak slower, but I'm talking to 5 different people, and they get to speak longer than me. And when I speak, I have to speak fast.
Just do one point at a time. Never mind the.
I don't mind one point at a time, but I will.
Okay, let's focus on one point at a time, and let's not deviate the conversation because we were talking here about international law at first, and now we're talking about a lot of stuff. Because you guys said that when the UN sanctioned something, and that's the reason why Israel should do this, or about the settlements. That's what
the UN said so.
I think maybe instead of like fighting who's right and who's wrong about stuff that we talked about for like 11 months, maybe we can use each one's opinion to think about okay what's coming next or how like what's the future of Gaza. I don't know, like something that continue fight.
You want to hear my opinion?
I don't know, like that's an opinion and also Isa, whatever the guys think.
Yeah, sure.
What you
Sure.
think, otherwise we should.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and say this. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a conflict that has happened for a long time, and up until recently, it's not hit mainstream media. We've started to now sort of hit a lot of media channels, and you can argue some are biased, some are not. And then you've got socials like X, Twitter, where people are seeing stuff they've never seen before on both sides, right?
And I think this never hit mainstream media. There's been 5 major wars. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but and what I mean to say is like it's not part of the masses. The masses are. It's not something the masses choose to.
Okay, I don't know the news constantly. Were you born yesterday?
Okay, okay, one second.
And Aziz, you were talking about the future, not about like trying to say about something about
his impression that he wasn't that aware of this until this particular.
Yeah, you were not aware of it, but it's you. It's not like.
No, I was aware of it.
Actually,
it was.
I'm saying like before 7th of. I understand. I'm saying before 7th of October. Israel is hyper focused in the reporting all over the world.
Yeah, right. But the point exactly. But it was through legacy media, right? So we didn't have social media. This is you asked me about the future of the conflict and what it will be. What you're saying is like
What difference does that make?
If you let me explain.
Pretty
sure it was already on Twitter. Okay, if you have something.
It was on social media as soon as social media was born.
No, you made one point that was false. You said it wasn't in the public eye. That's just right. Now you said there's a new medium called social media.
Okay, allow me to elaborate. Let me elaborate on that, right? So up until recently, and depending on what you want me to define recently probably as well, but you get my point. Social media was not a thing, so you want me to probably explain that it just didn't exist, right? So now,
about the future. Hold on.
Right, so I'm
The
gonna
question was about the future, and you were
Yeah,
you were not aware of it, but it's you. It's not like
I was aware of social media. I'm
saying.
You don't let me answer. That doesn't make sense.
You don't get the active to get off Facebook. That's why we
I
have.
start moving people to the audience, the ones that are.
If you ask me a question, I'll answer quickly. Guys, come on. I'm gonna get there. Yeah. The only reason I brought up media is because previously things were reported by legacy media channels, right? Now we have social media where people formulate their own opinions. And I'm not saying they're not biased. Some of them are. There are a lot of media channels that are create biases. That's what I'm saying. But I believe the future of this conflict, obviously, when we're talking about a settlement movement, now you might disagree that it's a settlement movement, some people do, but people have to believe in that idea, right? And I believe that there's more cynicism and a bit of mistrust in the government, definitely, and the idea more than ever. So that will muddy the waters a little bit. That's what I believe is the direction we're headed in. And what that becomes, I don't know.
The word settlement, what do you mean by settlement? Aziz, that didn't take us anywhere, so now there'll be.
No, they said settlement. The future is settlement.
Now you think that it will be, Aziz, you think there's going to be mistrust in the government based on social media's manipulation? So, okay,
No,
maybe.
not just that. I mean,
For a while.
I think a lot of Israel's support comes from the West. It comes from people that live in, like they had a birthright, people are traveling there.
So you think Israel will lose support? So you think Israel will lose support based on social media manipulation?
No. So what I'm saying is, I don't even know what you said. You just spoke while I was.
You basically said was that now that we have social media,
you missed the
now, you
basically said that now that we have social media, and social media is showing pictures, and you can't really explain a settlement project when you get pictures out of context, and people wait for it by watching 20-second clips. Support for Israel will fall. So I want you to take that to the next step. So you, the West, will no longer support Israel because they're not reading about something real on paper, they're watching social media. So that's the next step. Now,
Yeah.
So now
there's more transparency than ever before, and I think
social media is more transparent than a book.
No. So books. I mean, unfortunately, with books, right? It's not true journalism. It's journalism but biased.
Comes from by also people that live in like they had a birthright.
I'm sorry, they just want to okay, that's social media.
Like a video or an image. They just
at all.
So guys, hold on, let's try and now celebrate because Aziz talked about the future. We got we did talk about news, social media versus legacy media. Maybe we can kind of just stay around this topic and try to investigate this. It doesn't have to be about Palestine also, just to talk about the bias, what is independent journalism? Does it mean that someone that is just in the field, it means that he's honest, does he have biases? Because I think this automatic was just for me and what Aziz started saying, independent media, we see things on the ground, meaning if we see something from the ground, it wasn't filtered, it means that it's unbiased and it's true. This is how it comes out.
Well, that's why I think Aziz's point is worth investigating. I don't agree with him that social media is like a more valid or
today we explore the profound connection between
media, which you're just consuming, and the propaganda because someone's holding the camera. But it is a good point that people are going to think like Aziz. There are many people every day thinking more and more that the videos they see are more real than any journalism they read, and they're straight up just not reading anymore.
Get to the next step. So now people will be manipulated by social media images, which are.
I don't know about necessarily manipulated. I don't know if there's it might be an invisible hand scenario, right? You're saying maybe someone controls them. I'm saying maybe it's just like the voice of the people let loose.
No, I'm saying is that if I see a car crash, after the two cars hit, I know less than if I read about it. Was one of the drivers drunk? I don't know the image. Was it before? It's so social media is probably the worst way to consume this.
I'll tell you why I disagree. So we start with, usually somebody writes a book and then at the bottom, at the end, they'll have sources and citations at the end, right? Social media is opposite. So you have the citation, it's the video, it's the picture. And then you have people
context citation. Very simple editing of where the video starts from, which is always what social media does. I can manipulate the entirety of the story because I can turn on the camera and images.
I don't know about necessarily manipulated.
But Aziz, I want to get past this. Okay.
You literally haven't let me finish not once.
No, but if you're not answering my question, you keep bringing.
I don't feel like you're answering anything I'm asking.
You didn't ask me anything. I'm asking you.
I decided to jump off of your weird half example into a better question as to what we should do with this changing media landscape.
I'm trying to take you as social media is the worst way to consume. Now I want you to go to the next step. Therefore, what will happen? The question to you from Daniel was, what would be the future of the region? And you spoke about people outside the region, so now bring it back home.
Okay, right. So obviously, like I said, the project. I don't know where you guys would put it. I think as a project. I mean, the project is massively dependent on external importing people externally. So from the West, you've got birthright, you've got this idea, and I believe, that was essentially how it would work. So you've got this big project, new home being built. They're building these places, and they need to fill them up, right? This is this idea, right? And obviously, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I can get the statistic as well. I think 1/5 of restaurants in Tel Aviv shut down after the December.
many.
of projects.
No, hold on. You need to look.
No,
For
really.
example, when you look at data and data of how many were closed, you also need to check how many were open. And then you know that if you only look at numbers of closed, what? Just closed? I mean, businesses?
Listen, how many restaurants close and open in New York City in a week?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying.
No, that's
This is what I'm saying. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me, please, I will try to make this point again. If you only look at how many people, for example, left the country, but you don't know how many came into the country, you cannot say that the country is, for example, those amount of people left. Like you can say, but it's misleading, okay? When you say, well, there are restaurants that in Tel Aviv that are basically, changed, it's not successful. They close down. Someone else in the same place opens a different restaurant. You need to stay who does it, not just how many were closed.
Yeah, you're right.
The businesses close every day.
You're right. Business close every day. And if you look at that at face value, you might be able to skew the facts. But those statistics were the highest they've ever been in a short period of time, and they were permanently closed. They weren't like, oh, we're going to close temporarily. It was
right.
Well,
you don't know. Well, you don't know temporarily because the war's not over yet.
No, Israel's a failed state. Too many restaurants are closed in Tel Aviv. Call it up, guys.
We don't know yet.
So the reason why I put it on projects, because projects would be financially viable, right, for longevity. Like, for example, you can't keep a restaurant open in Tel Aviv. I mean, that's just a failed state. No, but you're trying to be too tongue-in-cheek, but you know what I'm trying to get
left the country, but you don't know how many came into the country. You cannot say that the country is, for example, those amount of people left. Like you can say, but it's misleading. Okay? Like say, there are restaurants that in Tel Aviv that are basically, changed, it's not successful. They close down. Someone else in the same place opens a different restaurant. You need to check. Hold on. You're taking a data point about the country during a war, and then from this try to come up with a trend is not intelligent. I'm sorry. You are actually taking a pinpoint that the country is at war. So many people, yes, are in the army, maybe less people are. It doesn't mean that this is the state of the country. Okay? So you need to keep that in mind. Context matters.
Level for a moment. Like, just proving Aziz. Give me a second.
Okay, go.
Aziz, give me a second, because I'm trying to.
Look, I have a respect enough to stop myself.
Thank you. Instead of trying to prove, because I think what we're doing to you is a little unfair. You're saying a bunch of things that I think are fully logic, but we're breaking on each piece of your puzzle. Like, let's get the whole building, and then we'll rip it down very quick.
Yeah.
And the manifestation of courage, revealing the company of heaven. Every man and every woman is a star. Every number is infinite. It is the difference. Help me, O warrior Lord of Thebes, in my unveiling before the children of men. Be thou headed, my secret center, my heart and my tongue. Behold, it is revealed by Iwas, the minister of Paul Parkrat. The cobs is in the coup, love the coup in the cobs. Worship then the cobs, and behold my light shed over you. And the manifestation of Nuit, the unveiling of the company of heaven. Every man and every woman is a star. Every number is infinite. It is the difference. Help me, O warrior Lord of Thebes, in my unveiling before the children of men. Be thou headed, my secret center, my heart and my tongue. Behold, it is revealed by Iwas, the minister of Paul Parkrat. The cobs is in the coup, love the coup in the cobs. Worship then the cobs, and behold my light shed over you. And the manifestation of Nuit. And
This is your coach telling you to stay cool.
So take your fill and will of love as ye will. When, where, with whom you will, but always unto me. If this be not right, if ye confound the space marks, saying they are one, or saying they are many, if the ritual be not ever unto me, then expect the direful judgments of Ra or Quit. They shall generate the world, the little world, my sister, my heart and my tongue, unto whom I send this kiss. Also, O scribe and prophet, thou, though be of the princess, shall not assuage thee nor absolve thee, but ecstasy be thine, and joy of earth ever to me, to me. Change not as much as the style of the letter from old, thou, O prophet, shall not behold all these mysteries hidden therein. The child of thy bowels, he shall behold them. Also take your fill and will of love as ye will. When, where, and with whom ye will, but always unto me. There is a word to say about the Hierophantic task, behold. There are 3 ordeals in one, it may be given in 3 ways. The gross must pass through fire, let the fine be tried in intellect. And the lofty chosen ones in the highest, thus ye have star in star, system in system. Let not one know where the other. There are 4 gates to one palace. The floor of their palaces of silver and gold, black as lapsody and jasper are there. And all are rare scents, jasmine and rose, and the emblems of death. Let him enter in turn, or at once the 4 gates, let him stand on the floor of the palace. Will he not sink? Amen. Oh, warrior, if thy servants sink, but there are means and means, be goodly therefore, dress ye all in fine apparel, eat rich foods and drink sweet wines and wines that foam. There is a word to say about the Hierophantic task, behold. There are 3 ordeals in one, it may be given in 3 ways. The gross must pass through fire, let the fine be tried in intellect. The lofty chosen ones in the highest, thus ye have star in star, system in system. Let not one know where the other. There are 4 gates to delivered from the lust of result is every way perfect. Perfect, a one perfect and not 2, nay and none. Nothing is the secret key of this law. 61, the Jews call it. I call it 8, 80. 418, but they have the half. Unite by thine art, so that all disappear. My prophet is a fool with his one. Are not they the ox, and none by the book? Abrogate are all rituals, all ordeals, all words and signs. Ra Horkut hath taken his seat in the east at the equinox of the gods, and let Asar be with Esau, who also are one. But they are not of me. Let Asar be the adorant, Esau the sufferer. Poor in his secret name and splendor as the Lord initiated. Delivered from the word of the Lord is Belimar, who calls us Belamites who do no wrong. If he look close into the word, for there are then in 3 grades, the hermit and the lover, and the man of earth. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The word of sin is a restriction. O man, refuse not thy wife if she will. O lover, if thou wilt depart. There is no bond that can unite the divided but love. All else is a curse. Accursed be it to the eons. Hell. Let it be that state of many who would bound and glue thee. So with thee at thy all, thou hast no right but to do thy will. Too late and no other shall say nay, for pure will assuage the purpose. The word of the Lord is Belimar, who calls us Belamites who do no wrong. If he look close into the word, for there are then in 3 grades, the hermit and the lover, and the man of earth. Do what thou wilt shall be my sacred heart and tongue, by all I can give, by all I desire of ye all. Then the priest fell into a deep trance, or swoon, and said unto the Queen of Heaven, Write unto us the ordeals, write unto us the rituals, write unto us the law. But she said, The ordeals I write not, the rituals shall be half known, and half concealed, the law is for all. This that thou writest is the threefold book of law. My scribe, Antiphon comes who, the priest of the princess, shall not in one letter change this book, but lest there be folly, he shall comment thereupon by the wisdom of Ra or good. Also the mantras and spells, the Obeah and the Wanga. Then the priest answered and said unto the Queen of Space, kissing her lovely brows, and the dew of her light bathing his whole body in a sweet smelling perfume. Speak not of thee at all, since thou art continuous. None breathe the light, faint and fairy of the stars and true moon. For I am divided for love's sake, for the chance of union. This is the creation of the world, that the pain of division is as nothing, and the joy of dissolution all. But these fools of men of the world care not now at all. They feel little what is balanced by weak joys, but ye are my chosen ones. Obey my prophet, follow up the ordeals of my knowledge, seek me only, and the joys of my love will return. I am infinite space, and the infinite stars thereof. Do ye also thus find nothing? Let there be no difference made among you between any one thing and any other thing, for thereby there cometh hurt. But whoso availeth in this, let him be the chief of all. I knew it. My word is 6 and 50. Divide, add, multiply, and understand. Then saith the prophet and slave of the beauteous one, Who am I? And what shall be the sign? So she answered him, bending down a lambent flame of blue, touching all penetrant, the lovely hands upon the black earth, and the live body arched for love, the soft feet not hurting the little flowers thou knowest. The sign shall be my ecstasy, the consciousness of the continuity of existence, the omnipresence of my body. I am in. They shall gather my children into their fold. They shall bring the glory of the stars into the hearts of men. For he is ever a sun and she a moon. But to him is the winged secret flame, and to her the stooping starlight. But ye are not so chosen. Burn upon their brows, O splendorous serpent, O azure-lidded woman, bend upon them. The key of the rituals is in the secret word which I have given unto him. With the God and the adorer I am nothing, they do not see me. They are as upon the earth, I am heaven, and there is no other God than me, and my Lord had it. Now therefore I am known to ye by my name, knew it, and to him by a secret name, which I will give him when at last he knoweth me. Sin, they shall gather my children into their fold. Let my servants be few in secret. They shall rule the many in the known. These are the fools that men adore. Both the gods and the men are fools. Come forth, O children under the stars, and take your fill of love. I am above you and in you. My ecstasy is in yours. My joy is to see your joy. Above the gemmed azure is the naked splendor of Nuit. She bends in ecstasy to kiss. The secret ardors of Hagit, the winged glow, the starry blue are mine, O Ankafan Kansu. Now ye shall know that the chosen priest and apostle of infinite space is the prince priest, the beast. And in this woman called the scarlet woman had the manifestation of Nuit, the unveiling of the company of heaven. my secret center, my heart and my tongue. Behold, it is revealed by Iwas, the minister of poor Parkrat. The cobs is in the coup, love the coup in the cobs. Worship then the cobs, and behold my light shed over you.
Bro, I swear it's weird. Like, for this current generation, it must be so weird. Like, you'd be reading, well, not at all actually, because this is ASMR, but it's actually real. Love stores.
Many people, for example, have left the country, but you don't know how many came into your country. You cannot say that the country is, for example,
Welcome to a journey to the
peaceful conversation or even to a work conversation, you need to dissolve.
Love stores. AI safety is scary markers on there.
As a website owner, if you decide not to let Google scrape your site,
And then you full of this
some malware that might.
and then it was no really necessity to be more aware. I don't know.
This is Julius Caesar. This is an audio recording. This is chapter 10, Year of Rome, 702, book 7 of the commentaries. Revolt of Gaul, capture of Velanodonum, Genabum, and Noviodonum, sieges of Avaricum and Agovia, campaign of Labienus against the Parisi, siege of Alesia. The Roman arms had in 6 years subjugated one after another the principal states in Gaul, Belgium, Aquitaine. The countries on the seacoast had been the theater of the most desperate struggles. The inhabitants of the Isle of Britain, like the Germans, had become prudent by the defeats they had suffered. Caesar had just taken a signal vengeance upon the revolted Eburones, thought that he might without danger leave his army and proceed into Italy to hold these settlers. This is Julius Caesar. During his abode in this part of his command, the murder of P. Clodius took place the 13th of the calends of February 30th of December 701, which caused a great agitation and gave rise to the Senatus Consultus, which ordered all the youths of Italy to take the military oath. Caesar took advantage of it to make levies also in the province. The rumors of what was taking place at Rome soon passed the Alps. To revive the resentments and hopes of the Gauls, they believed that the domestic troubles would detain Caesar in Italy and would give rise to a favorable opportunity for a new insurrection. The principal chiefs meet in secluded spots, mutually excite each other by the recital of their grievances and by the remembrance of the death of Acco, promise great rewards to those who at the peril of their lives will commence the war, but decide that before all the return of Caesar to his army must be rendered impossible. During his abode in this part of his country.
Okay, this is the Hymn to Pan by Aleister Crowley. Thrill with lissome lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Kamal, mute your mic. Come careering out of the night. Okay, you don't want to help? I'm going to put you in the audience because I'm recording this.
Sit down, huh?
Yeah, fucking hell. I'm going to start it over. Thrill with lissome lust of the light. Oh man, my man. Come careering out of the night. Of that, okay. roaming as Bacchus with fawns and pards, and nymphs and satyrs for thy guards. On a milk-white ass, come over the sea to me, come with Apollo in bridal dress, shepherdess and pythoness. Come with Artemis, silken shod, and wash thy white thigh, beautiful God, in the moon of the woods, on the marble mount, the dimpled dawn of the amber fount. Dip the purple of passion and prayer in the crimson shrine, the scarlet snare, the soul that startles in the eyes of blue, to watch thy wantonness weeping through the tangled grove, the gnarled bole, the living tree that is spirit and soul.
Hello, guys.
Hello. And body and brain, come over the sea.
You're not on the top.
I'm reading poetry here. You're interrupting me.
You're supposed Donald Trump.
Yes, I am.
Yes, it's very good. I'm from Ukraine. I'm support Trump. Give my
devil or God, to me, my man, come with trumpets sounding shrill. Over the hill, come with drums, low muttering from the spring. Come with flute, and come with pipe. Am I not right? I, who wait and writhe and wrestle with air that hath no bowers to nestle, my body weary of empty clasp, strong as a lion, sharp as an asp. Come, oh, come! I am numb with the lonely lust of devildom. Thrust the sword through the galling fetter, all devourer, all begetter. Give me the sign of the open eye, and the token erect of thorny thigh, and the word of madness and mystery. O Pan, Eo Pan, Eo Pan, Eo Pan, 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 Pan. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a great God can. O Pan, Eo Pan, Eo Pan, Eo Pan, Pan. I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw. The gods withdraw. The great beasts come, Eo Pan. I am born to death on the horn of the unicorn. I am Pan, Eo Pan, Eo Pan, Pan, Pan. I am thy mate, I am thy man. Goat of the flock, I am gold, I am God. Flesh to thy bone, flour to thy rod. With hoofs of steel, I race on the rocks, through solstice stubborn to equinox. And I rave, and I rape, and I rip, and I rend. Everlasting, world without end. Mannequin, maiden, manid, man, in the might of Pan. Eo Pan, Eo Pan, 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 Eo Pan. Yeah, I want to thank you for coming to John Kitover's TikTok. I'm going to read you Aleister Crowley poetry that's called A Birthday. This is an exclusive TikTok recording which will also be uploaded to YouTube. I want to thank my friend Death Hippie for joining me on this poetic journey.
Let's start this poetry by taking a deep breath of day through our noses. Full moon tonight. It's 26 years since my full moon first broke from angel spheres. A year of infinite love unwearying. No circling seasons, but perennial spring. A year of triumph trampling through the feet. The first made holy and the last made sweet. By this same love, a year of wealth and woe, joy and poverty, sickness, all one glow in the pure light that filled our firmament. Of supreme silence and unbarred extent, wherein one sacrament was ours, one resurrection, one recurrent chord, one incarnation, one descending dove.
I kicked your 2 rooms this morning. It's going great.
And one being love. You sent your spirit into tunes, my soul yearned for thousands of melodies to ensure. Its happiness I left no flower unplucked that might have graced your garden. I induct tragedy, comedy, farce.
Now you can argue some people are biased, they are, right? Both ends of the spectrum, right? But in my opinion, right, people are seeing things for what they are.
Okay, can someone tell me if they think? Yeah, okay, so basically the future is that people are saying I want the future is that people are saying
Everybody say bye to a kid.
Do we just
wait a minute,
let's
one
make a
second.
TikTok, 10 second
Wait,
TikTok.
one second, please, one second.
I'm
already everyone in the room right now.
One second.
Brody, I think we figured out the point. I can do it for Aziz.
I give you 5 minutes for you to try to get an idea out of this coconut, and if you can't, I'm throwing you out.
Well, he actually said his idea. He just takes 20 minutes.
Jeff, I'm asking the room right now, does anyone here think that he was even started to attempt to answer the question?
I think he said no.
No, people's opinion.
Everybody be laughing at what he doesn't know how to answer.
The time comes, he must be
And let's see what happens, okay?
Okay, so I think right now the consensus is that you didn't even attempt to start to answer the question. So I'll ask you again. Where do you think that...
She needs you, no one.
It's been 10 years. So far from who I was. I'm not who I used to be. From who I love. From who find someone else. She'll be better off. There is no one I trust more with my child than you. Please, hold Fred. For her. One last fight. He's coming, Master.
Where is he? Kenobi is all that matters now. Is that understood?
Yes, my lord. The force. What does it feel like?
Have you ever been afraid of the dark? How does it feel now? Turn on the light. I stand out here alone. Yes, it feels like that. Asking for too much. What have you become?
I am what you made me. You
Trust God. You couldn't save Anakin, but you can save her. Sometimes when I look at you, I see her mother's face. I will miss her very much. What's left? Only when the eyes are closed can you truly see. You are all the future. You are the future. You are what needs to survive. Well, took you long enough. You need to think you'll never come. It's always here. We just aren't ready to see. You are wise, discerning, kind-hearted. These are qualities that came from your mother.
This is you, and this is your first hunch of the season. It's parlay time with FanDuel at 3.
It's part of
You're
the
also passionate and fearless, forthright. And these are gifts from your father. Both were exceptional people who bore an exceptional daughter. I have to face him, Master. Whether he dies or I do. This ends today.
Ah, there you are. I was beginning to think you weren't coming.
Master. Good. Then maybe I stand more of a chance this time. Are you ready?
Have you come to destroy